The courtyard was drenched in late afternoon sunlight, birdsong weaving with a gentle clink of porcelain cups. You and Yeonjun sat across from each other at a carved stone table, steam rising from the teapot between you. Yeonjun leaned forward, eyes glimmering with mischief. "So, tell me again, did you really fall asleep during the King's Council meeting last week?" You nearly choked on your tea, swatting at him with mock outrage. "Yeonjun, I didn't fall asleep. I just closed my eyes for a moment." He laughed, a sound so carefree it made you laugh along with him. "A moment? My dear cousin, the guard said your head almost hit the table. Imagine the scandal if His Majesty noticed." Your cheeks warmed, partly from embarrassment, partly from the thought of Jungkook's sharp eyes always seeming to linger on you. You tried to wave it off. Well, he didn't say anything. Maybe he didn't notice. Yeonjun smirked knowingly, sipping his tea. Oh, he noticed. The Alpha King notices everything. You're lucky he didn't drag you out in front of everyone. You burst into laughter, clutching your stomach. "Stop, you're making me sound like some clumsy child." "That's because you are one," he teased, reaching over to flick your forehead. You yelped, batting his hand away. "Yeah, don't do that." Your laughter rang so loud it startled a few doves from the balcony above. You leaned against the table, wiping a tear from your eye, still giggling. Yeonjun grinned at you warmly, clearly proud of himself for making you laugh that hard. "Honestly," he said softly, "you haven't laughed like this in a while. It's good to see you smile." Your heart softened, and you gave him a fond look. "Thank you, Yeonjun. You always know how to make the world feel lighter." Just then, you went to stand, but your foot caught the rug beneath the table. You stumbled forward with a startled gasp. "Ah!" Yeonjun's reflexes were quick. His arm wrapped firmly around your waist, pulling you upright before you could fall. His hand lingered, steadying you, his brows furrowed in concern. "Careful, cousin, I've got you." You let out a shaky laugh, brushing your hair from your face. That was embarrassing. But before you could pull away, you felt it, an unseen weight, a presence. High above on the balcony, Jungkook stood frozen, one hand gripping the stone railing so tightly his knuckles turned white. His dark eyes blazed, locked on Yeonjun's hand, still at your waist. The alpha inside him roared, his jaw clenched, his chest rising with sharp breaths as his wolf pushed against his control. Every instinct screamed to march down, tear Yeonjun's hand away, and remind everyone, especially you, exactly who you belonged to. From your spot below, you hadn't noticed, but Yeonjun had. His eyes flicked upward, widening slightly at the sight of the king's fury. Quickly, he stepped back, releasing you as if burned. You frowned, tilting your head. "What's wrong?" "Nothing," Yeonjun muttered, forcing a smile. But his posture had gone stiff, his earlier playfulness dimmed. And you still didn't realize why. Because Jungkook's gaze never left you, burning with jealousy so fierce it felt like fire crawling along your skin, even from a distance. "Mine," the king thought savagely. "She is mine." The moonlight poured through the tall windows of the royal chamber, washing the silken sheets in silver glow. You had just tugged the heavy blanket up to your chin, sighing softly as you sank into the warmth of the enormous bed. Your lashes grew heavy, your body curling into comfort, until you felt the bed dip behind you. Jungkook. The Alpha King moved silently, his presence filling every corner of the room like shadows. You peeked over your shoulder as he slipped beneath the sheets, his chest catching the faint light, muscles flexing as he settled in. His hair was damp, as though he'd bathed to chase away the tension of the day, but nothing could wash away the storm brewing in him. You smiled sleepily, still blissfully unaware of the fire in his chest. "You're late," you murmured softly, turning back onto your side. And even as sleep tugged at you, Jungkook stayed awake, holding you tighter, letting his touches calm the jealousy still clawing inside him. He was the strongest alpha king, feared across kingdoms. Yet with you, he could only cling and wait, because you were his innocent, clumsy little wife, and he refused to rush the moment you would finally feel everything he felt. You sat curled on the sofa with Yeonjun, a tray of tea between you. Outside, the wind howled against the windows, but inside you were laughing, that same laughter that always came so easily with him. Yeonjun leaned closer, holding up a parchment with a sketch drawn across it. "Look," he said with a grin. "Do you remember this? We were children, you fell into the pond, and I tried to pull you out, but ended up falling in with you." You clutched your stomach, giggling. "Oh, gods, I remember. My dress was ruined and father was so angry." Yeonjun laughed along, his eyes soft with nostalgia. As he showed you another sketch, you leaned in without thinking, your shoulder brushing his, your face so close it nearly touched his. You were so focused on the drawing, you didn't notice how tense Yeonjun had gone, his back straight, his smile fading. Because he had noticed. The weight of an alpha's gaze. A low primal sound tore through the room, rumbling like thunder. "Yeonjun." Your body stiffened. Yeonjun's eyes darted past you, and his expression immediately dropped into fear. Jungkook stood in the doorway. The king's shoulders were broad and rigid, his chest rising with the force of his breaths. His dark eyes glowed faintly under the firelight, his jaw tight enough to snap. The sound that had ripped from his throat was no ordinary growl. It was a warning, a threat, an alpha's unspoken command. "Stand." His voice was low, dangerous, leaving no room for hesitation. Yeonjun scrambled to his feet, bowing deeply. "Your Majesty." "Leave. Now." The command was absolute. The growl that followed it shook through the walls, sending shivers down your spine. Yeonjun didn't dare argue. He bowed once more, avoiding your eyes, and rushed out of the chamber. The silence that followed was suffocating. You turned slowly, heart racing, to face Jungkook. He hadn't moved from the doorway, but his aura was suffocating, his alpha dominance filling every corner of the room. His hand was still curled into a fist at his side, the claws threatening to break through. "Jungkook," you whispered carefully, unsure what to say. His eyes snapped at you, blazing, feral, yet filled with something deeper than anger. Possession, fear, a raw, aching need. He crossed the room in 3 strides, his hand cupping your jaw firmly, tilting your face up to his. His breath was ragged, his forehead pressing against yours as he growled again, softer this time, vibrating through your bones. "Jungkook, wait, please listen," you stammered, heart racing as his hand tightened around your wrist. But Jungkook didn't listen. His jaw was locked. He dragged you down the corridor, his long strides forcing you to stumble to keep up, the guards lowering their heads quickly as the king passed, no one daring to look. You tugged lightly against his grip. "It wasn't what you think. Yeonjun is my cousin. I didn't mean..." "Enough." The word cracked through the air like thunder. His voice was low, dangerous, filled with a trembling restraint that told you he was seconds away from breaking completely. The heavy doors of your chamber slammed shut behind you, the lock turning with a sharp click. The silence that followed was deafening, only the sound of your quickened breath and his ragged inhale filling the room. "Jungkook," you whispered, softer now, trying to soothe him. "You don't understand, do you?" His voice was hoarse, as though it hurt him to speak. "Every laugh you give another man burns me alive. Every time you lean close, I want to tear the world apart. And today..." His hand slid to your jaw, tilting your face up. Seeing him touch you, I nearly lost myself. Your lips parted, your innocent eyes wide. "But I didn't mean to."